Rightio, let's get this mic sorted. It is stuck on, and we'll fire away. Because the point is tonight, we're doing a little bit of twilight FlingGolf, and my idea is that we converse a little bit, because there's a big misconception about what FlingGolf is actually here for, what its purpose is, and what we are rolling out. I've put a few videos on recently, and I just wanted to not pop up out of nowhere, but to explain that you guys know, and the viewers out there know where I've slotted into this. I'm a lifelong golfer, played golf as long as I can remember, regular traditional golf. Now, a year or two back, Paul and Scantron, as he's known, Sam Scannell, introduced me to FlingGolf. Now, I run a photography and media company, small, sole trader, and then me and my partner's coming on board, Siobhan, to essentially help businesses portray their story. Now, as of recent times, I've decided to fully partner with Paul, FlingGolf UK. Now, the reason that I feel so passionate about FlingGolf isn't because I think it's better than traditional golf. It isn't because I think it's better for people who can't play golf. It isn't because I think it's ever going to be bigger than golf. Maybe, hopefully, because I think there's a big gap in golf, especially across the UK, and a big market that a lot of clubs are missing. However, a lot of my career prior to being self-employed was working with underprivileged young people in the care setting, challenging behaviour, and places where these children and young people were disadvantaged. They were disadvantaged to some degree. Now, that's not because they were bad kids. It's not because they weren't capable kids. They were very, very capable young people. But they didn't have access to things. Now, that reminded me a lot when I started this and I started playing FlingGolf, that when I started playing FlingGolf, playing regular golf, when I was a little over 10 years old. Quote me if I'm wrong, mother, because I know you're following the page. We didn't have, as a family, the disposable money to risk all of that. I was ADHD, flighty as a child. They didn't know whether I was going to stick at something for 5 minutes or 5 decades. And it would really take a lot of sort of commitment. We didn't have enough to invest in big clubs, new clubs, lessons and everything in between. So what it was, I would play with hand-me-down clubs or charity shop clubs for the first 5, 6, 7 years of playing golf. Now, that never bothered me because all I liked was being out on the course, learning something new, getting better. But I was lucky that I had parents, I had grandparents that would support that love, support every aspect of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go, with whatever means they had. And I'm ever so grateful for that. But if this had existed, I wouldn't have been in a position where I would have struggled to play to the standard of peers, to have the same equipment as peers and everything in between, because golf clubs, as we know, can cost thousands, and then thousands more in lessons if you want to really get good and really take it seriously. Now, for children, young people, adults even, nowadays where their attention span is like that, it's a big risk to invest thousands or hundreds, maybe multiple hundreds in a beginner set. And for that to potentially be a waste of money, when everyone's tight, the economy's crap, it's a lot. Now, for one of these guys, it's the ballistic, and this is £250. And this is the top of the line stick. So they start from 120, but that's you in the sport, that's you playing the game. And if you can throw a ball, you can play FlingGolf. It's a simple throwing motion over the head. You're on a course, not like foot golf or disc golf where things on the course had to change and had to be different to allow for that style of golf. And as a traditional golfer, foot golf used to irritate the life out of me when I'm trying to play. They're closing the course for an hour to let the foot golfers out. There's big holes all over the course, different greens cut here, there and everywhere. Now, I understand people love that, but I was paying a membership that I was working very hard to be able to afford at the time, to then be interrupted on them weekend days when I just wanted to get out for a quiet round of golf. And a lot of golfers felt the same. That's why I got a bad reputation in England or the Northeast for as far as I know. it probably did elsewhere. I know it's a little bit bigger down south, but in the northeast of England, it got a pretty bad rep, and people rejected it, the clubs rejected it. Now, that was primarily because it was stopping and hindering actual golfers, traditional golfers. Courses were having to change, and this was all in a way to scramble and get new revenue streams and different people on the course to help the golf clubs that needed money and needed funds to grow, to reinvest back into the traditional golf, to reinvest back into the club. And yes, it was popular to a degree. But when you've grown up in a traditional golf environment, looking at people running around in football shirts and football boots on a course that you're paying a lot of money to be a member of, people get a bit defensive about that, and they generally don't like it. So I don't think that went down particularly well, or at least not in the northeast. Where FlingGolf is different from that, and why I'm so passionate, is people who would have never ever stepped onto a golf course before can now rush to the golf club, rent one. We can give these in packs to golf clubs, to pro shops that may not have the clientele. We're just growing. But pay your green fee, or if you remember, rent a stick, get out, have a laugh with your friends, enjoy the game. Just get the ball in the stick, throw it, experiment. Don't be shy. This is all you're carrying around the course. You're not carrying a bag. For twilight golf, you want to get round 9 holes. You may not usually have time. Playing regular golf, lose balls, hinders you. The light's dimming. It gets difficult. But with this, because there's no spin, because you're just throwing the ball, where you aim it, the ball goes. Unless you're going in a hazard or going over a hazard, it's a bit more tricky. Then you've got to be able to get the legs. You get the drift. But as a rule, it's not going to go that far offline. You're going to throw the ball, you're working your way down the course, you're very lightweight, straight out the car, just like I've been today, and you're on the course playing with your friends. 3 or 4 of you around a course like this, you can get round 18 holes in 2, maybe 2.5 hours if you're dawdling. Whereas regular golf, 3.5, 4 hours. You're saving an hour of your time. Around after work, around the twilight hours. It's a hell of a lot easier when you're holding one of these. We'll just yeet one down there, and I'm just going to walk and talk as we're going, but that has gone an absolute mile. Just hope there's not a ditch down there, because I'm not sure whether there still is. I think initially, this is my personal views as I come into this, and I hope I can shorten this down enough. But my personal view is to target regular golfers, like I believe a lot of the content out there portrays as a golfer. When Sam showed me, I didn't want anything to do with it, being brutally honest. Wasn't interested. I was like, no, not another foot golf, not another disc golf. All I want to do is go out, play golf, and enjoy the golf course for what it is, for what I signed up for. But then Paul and Sam came here, and we played this exact course. First time I'd met Paul, and it was the first time I'd seen Sam in 6 or 7, maybe even 8 years since he was last over in the UK. Now, when we played, I think I played 2 holes with my actual golf clubs, and I agreed to put my golf clubs away and play the round with just the fling stick. Being honest, I don't think I've had as much fun in my entire life, and it wasn't because FlingGolf was better. It was because I was lightweight, I was being lazy, I was just enjoying being out in the nice weather, having a laugh with 2 gents and my partner around a course like this. Beautiful scenes, beautiful parkland course, really, really picturesque. Fun fact, this course was designed by Alistair Mackenzie, who was the designer of Augusta National. So, in the heart of County Durham, there's some heritage from the Masters over here. So why not live that large? And we'll bring FlingGolf. We'll get a whole new market. We'll bring a whole new demographic to the golf courses, who are going to absolutely love everything about a golf course. Just imagine the impact on people's mental health. If we can just get people to try coming to a golf course and really, really taking it on board. Imagine the change we can make without making people struggle. It's interesting. We're on a par 4, I've hit my tee shot. I'll walk around here so you can hopefully see in the background the green is up there, approximately 140 yards. A little bit uphill, we've got a bunker protecting to the right side and a bunker off the left hand side of the green. So I'm not sure how many distances on this one yet, but we've got about 9 weeks to practice before the Britain's Cup. Can we put on a performance? How quick can we turn this around? 140 yards. I'll try and pull this in and avoid that bunker on the right. Oh, that's on the money. Oh, I think we've raced off the back, but it bounced about 4 foot from the pin. So, I'm going to try again. It is a practice shot, so I'm going to try and get a little bit more elevation on that so it comes down a little bit softer. With this, because it's like throwing a ball, it's very much feel-based, so you've got to understand the power, the arc, everything in between, and that's the way I learned golf around the greens. Underarm throw the ball over a bunker to the flag, over and over and over again, just until you got the feel of that. Then you'd pull out a wedge and practice and so forth. So that was me as a young'un. Now, this is the same sort of feeling. This is why the buzz comes, because it almost gives me that sense of nostalgia from when I was taught as a kid. I'm going to try and get this a bit more high in the air, see if we can stop one on the green this time. I don't think that's got the legs, but it's the right arc. Go. So before I take this shot, I'm a little bit curious. What was your first thoughts when you seen FlingGolf? Because mine, being honest, was absolute bewilderment. I was like, what is that? But I was proven wrong. Off the back somewhere over here. So first of all, we're going to play that first shot down towards this pin and see how we get on. We've got a pretty steep downslope there towards the pin. And then the second shot I threw in is the opposite direction, down over here. There we go. Right, hopefully that stays locked on, because we're going to play the second shot. I don't think it's going to lock on down the hill, but if we can get enough of the image in so you can see the ball at least come over the top, we should be in for a winner. So I'm hoping, because the camera's tiny, we've got maybe about 25 yards. I need to be aiming at the camera, so we're going to risk it for a biscuit. And this is going to come just over the bunker, and hopefully it's not going to kick too harsh to the left. And we'll get somewhere close. That's going to be brutal. That's off. See you later, mush. But could be worse. Certainly not be grumbling at that if I was using a lob wedge. One of the biggest misconceptions about FlingGolf is that it's trying to replace golf. And that's completely not the case. What FlingGolf does, if you ask most clubs around the country, a lot of them are facing the same problem. They're all looking for ways to get new people on the course, to engage a younger audience, and to get younger demographics enjoying the course and the game that we love. Now, in a world where attention span is as low as I think it's ever been, you've got maybe 3-4 seconds on a video like this to hook someone. So if you're still here, got you. In a world where that's the case, we are often very, very lucky to re-engage a younger audience that has been brought up with this lack of attention span. And when that becomes a thing, there is leaked revenue. There's missed revenue all over the shop. Years ago, it wasn't really as difficult to engage people, but what golf comes with is a big audience of traditional, old school people. Now, I've played golf, real golf, all my life, and that's one of the things that I am. I am a traditional golfer. Now, those skeptics that are looking over here now are going to be thinking, what on earth, you're saying you're a traditional golfer, but you sat with a fling stick. Now, while that might be true, what FlingGolf is, it's a synergy, it's a partnership to golf. It's something that's going to complement golf, it's going to bring new revenue streams, and it's going to open up a whole new demographic of people who want to engage in the game, people who want to start playing golf. Now, that's simply because within a few minutes, you can be on a golf course with a fling stick. Because I think, personally, FlingGolf isn't a competitor to golf. What I think FlingGolf does is I think it opens up opportunity. What we were saying is, the location I'm at now is predominantly a lower income area. Now, what does that mean for a golf club? That means they have approximately, out of 5,000 or 6,000 houses, 3 members that are local. Is that because the golf club's bad? No, it's a nice club. Loads of facilities, small self-serve driving range, practice area, incredible professional for coaching. So why is it? And in data, in prior life, we look at every facet of the local area. Is it accessible? What's the costing like? Can people afford it? And if you look at that, not really. Golf clubs are expensive, lessons are expensive, but what isn't expensive is the amenities that can come with it. So if you can get someone on a course within 15-20 minutes of never even considering golf, if you're not even crazy golf, get down to your course, you show them 10-15 minutes out on a course in twilight hours like this where it's absolutely dead, there's no one around. If that then turns into 10 or 15 tee times a month, it's 30 to 40 pound. It's an extra 300, 400, 500 pound on your bottom line before you talk about the bar, the pro shop, the carts, everything in between. And that's just 15 or 20. If you've got 5,000 houses out there, if you can put an event on once a month that draws in 150, 200 people at 30 pound a head, that's a significant increase in your revenue. You rent a stick, 15 pound, that green fee turns into 45 pound instead of 30 pound. It's a big increase. That might even be members as well. They might not want to buy a fling stick, but if the option's there and they're having a lazy one, they just want to go for a chat with their friends, we'll rent a stick, we'll knock it our clubs out, we'll rent a stick and we'll have a go. Loads of options. The options are actually endless. Consider it. Reach out if you want any more information. Consultation meetings available Europe-wide. Cheers, guys.